Okay, so in this lesson we're going to review what we talked about in the previous lesson and just get down to the essence of what we talked about, and we're going to add that to a file that we're going to keep on our hard drive on our desktop called cheat sheet. Okay, and then you'll be able to refer back to this cheat sheet as you're writing code, and it will help you remember the commands and cement them in your mind as you're getting started. Eventually, you'll begin to move away from the cheat sheet, but don't feel bad. Everybody starts with a cheat sheet, whether they scribble it on a piece of paper or whether they download one online. But I think it's valuable for us to create our own cheat sheet because we can add to it the things that we've learned, and we can add to it the way that we want to add to it, and we can remove things over time if we want to. All right, so the first thing we're going to need to do is actually create a new notepad file. Now, if you want to keep this in Word, fine. If you want to keep this in some other format, that's fine. Whatever works for you is great. But I personally think if you keep it simple, you're more likely to use it in the future. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and launch Notepad, and the first thing I'm going to do is just save as, and I'm going to go to my desktop and I'm going to call this cheatsheet.txt. All right, save. All right, and so the way it's going to work is this. I'm going to start with just the name of the lesson, kind of, or at least the topic that I want to discuss, and I'm going to give the video ID, I guess you can say, the name or of the video, the numbers that I use to kind of order the videos that I create. And then what we want to do is talk about some of the most practical aspects of the previous lesson. And so we'll create these little videos for review and for creating the cheat sheet together. So the first thing that I would say is that we talked about comments, right? And there are two forms of comments. That's for a single line. The two double slashes are for a single line, and then we can create multi-line by using this slash asterisk and then asterisk slash around a whole passage of code. All right, and we'll use that all the time for the remainder of this series and every series that comes after it. Okay, all right, then we had 4 data types that I thought would be the most beneficial for you to start off with, and we'll give that link to find the other ones whenever you need them. So the first one obviously is string, and we want to just type alphanumeric, and it defaults to just an empty string like so, and then int or integer, and that goes from 2 billion to a negative 2 billion. All right, and I know I'm leaving off precision, but it's easier to remember these big rounded numbers than, 2,147,000,000 blah blah blah. Okay, so but it defaults to 0, and then we talked about double, which is a fractional value, and it defaults to 0.0, and we use that for numerical calculations and the like. And double is going to become a bigger player in the next several videos. And then the final one I think is going to be beneficial is bool, which is basically just true or false, and it defaults to false, like so. All right. And then if you want to look for more information, if you ever need to know more of the data types, then go to this little shortcut that I created, is.gd/data_types. All right, and that should take you to the MSDN article that talks more extensively about all the data types. Okay, so that's it. That's all we're going to do in these review and cheat sheet videos. And obviously we need to save it, and then I'm going to shut it down until the next time we need it. Thank you.